Good evening. I'm Daniel Marin, news anchor at KXAN-TV in Austin. About this time, every 2 years in this building behind me, the governor of Texas shares his vision for the future of the state and sets his priorities for the current legislative session. The State of the State speech is typically delivered in the Texas House chambers in front of the entire legislative body. For the second time, Governor Abbott is delivering his address outside the Capitol. This time at a state-of-the-art production facility in San Marcos, just south of Austin. Tonight's primetime statewide broadcast of the speech will be seen live and streamed in 14 Nexstar television markets and is available to all other Texas broadcasters. All members of the Texas House and Senate have been invited to be in the audience for the address, as well as select members of the San Marcos business community. After the speech, we will bring you the Texas Democratic Party's response and then live reaction from Texas lawmakers. Here now is Texas Governor Greg Abbott with tonight's State of the State address.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good evening to members of the legislature, members of the Texas Supreme Court, state officials, and to my fellow Texans. As we gather tonight in San Marcos, Texas, the state of our state has never been more exceptional. Texans have inherited a legendary pedigree, a state first settled by brave pioneers, willing to risk everything for the promise of freedom and opportunity. Texas is fulfilling that promise. I'm speaking to you from the manufacturing floor of Novion. Novion is a cutting-edge business in the critical field of rare earth elements. They provide essential materials for things used every day, like refrigerators, trucks, MRI machines, and oil rigs. They even make materials for ballistic missiles for the United States of America to defend itself. Most rare earth materials now come from China. But if that supply is ever disrupted, many of the things that we do every day would come to a halt. The future of Texas and the United States should not depend on China. We must embrace innovation like Novion to make Texas more self-reliant, to create our own products, and to secure the future of tomorrow. With the help of businesses like Novion, Texas is #1 in the United States for the most new jobs. Since I became governor, Texas has added more than 1.9 million new jobs. We're also #1 for economic development, #1 for exports, #1 for Fortune 500 company headquarters. Our $2 trillion economy makes Texas the 9th largest economy in the entire world. All across our state, business is booming, from our large metros to rural Texas, and everywhere in between. Businesses large and small have led Texas to be ranked the #1 state for doing business every year that I have been your governor. That success has been driven by hardworking Texans. It also has been aided by strategic economic development tools to keep Texas the best state for business. Our local communities need new economic development tools this session. Also, local businesses will flourish even more if we reduce the gridlock in our courts by creating specialized courts with the expertise to deal with complex commercial litigation. Our workforce is so important. One thing that the Texas of tomorrow needs is highly skilled workforce. I was at Odessa College 2 weeks ago, working with Senator Sparks and Representative Landgraf to see firsthand how community colleges are training the workforce of tomorrow. I met Ariel Aguilar, a young graduate who was so grateful for that program, and we're proud to have him here with us tonight. He told me that instead of studying subjects that were perhaps irrelevant to his career, the job skill program gave him the ability to study what he needed. It also quickly landed him a good paying career. Our goal is to ensure that every Texan is prepared to succeed in high demand careers like technology, healthcare, and energy. That's why this session, we will reward community colleges that produce skilled, employable Texans like Ariel. As I travel across our great state, one thing I hear loud and clear: property taxes are suffocating Texans. We must fix that this session. Hardworking Texans produced the largest budget surplus in Texas history. That money belongs to you, the taxpayers. We should return it to you with the largest property tax cut in the history of the state of Texas. Working with Senator Huffman and Representative Bonin, we have all proposed using $15 billion to cut property taxes. Now we must ensure that it provides lasting property tax relief. To get that done, cutting property taxes is an emergency item this legislative session. Our booming economy and our growing population, it means that we must bolster our infrastructure. We began preparing for this over the past decade. And tonight I'm proud to tell you that we will soon announce a $100 billion plan to build transportation infrastructure in Texas. I want to thank Senator Nichols and Representative Canales for their leadership on this issue. Also, we have already passed 14 bipartisan laws that strengthened the power grid. And since that time, no Texan has lost power because of the state grid. But listen, we all know that increased demand will be placed on the grid as Texas continues to grow. So we must build a grid strong enough to power Texas for the next century. In just the last month, multiple electric generation projects have been announced that add reliable power to our grid. Now, one thing you all know, people have been coming to Texas in search of liberty for almost 200 years. We must protect that liberty. And that's why I am announcing an emergency item tonight to end COVID restrictions forever. We must prohibit any government from imposing COVID mask mandates, COVID vaccine mandates, and from closing any business or school because of COVID. These actions will help Texas close the door on COVID restrictions. Also, we must change how government responds to future pandemics, including requiring the legislature to convene if another pandemic is ever declared. We must also protect the freedom and rights of parents who have children in schools. Our tremendous public schools in Texas play an essential role in our state. They educate our future entrepreneurs, scientists, and leaders. We must ensure that our education system works for every child in our state. And thanks to our legislators, per-student funding is at an all-time high. We provided more funding for public education and more funding for teacher pay raises than ever before in the history of the state of Texas. In this session, we will add even more. And importantly, many schools in Texas are excellent. In fact, we are #1 for national blue ribbon schools. And we have one of the best high school graduation rates in America. You know, when I grew up in first Longview and then Duncanville, we were taught the basics: reading and writing, math and science. But most importantly, we were inspired by our country's founding and how it stands apart from the rest of the world as the beacon of liberty and opportunity. The fact is that many children today are not being educated like you and I were. I hear frustrations about that from too many parents. Some are with us here tonight. The Ailey family, they got frustrated watching their child fall behind while she was being forced to learn from home during the time of COVID. Eric Richardson was astonished that his child's teacher would not work with him to address the specific needs of his child. Hillary Hicklin was angry that a woke agenda was being forced on her in school. Let's be clear. Our schools are for education, not indoctrination. Schools should not be pushing a woke agenda, period. We must reform curriculum, get kids back to the basics of learning, and we must empower parents. Parents deserve access to curriculum, to school libraries, and to what their children are being taught. And we will do that with our Parental Bill of Rights. Parents also deserve education freedom. Without that freedom, some parents are hindered in being able to help their child succeed. That must change this year. The way to do that is with school choice through state-funded education savings accounts. We've seen them work in other states, and we've also seen them work right here in the state of Texas. I created education savings accounts for special needs students. It worked so well, a bipartisan supermajority passed it into law and are now seeking to increase funding for it. Now what we need to do, we want to expand that program to provide every parent with the ability to choose the best education option for their child. To be perfectly clear, under this school choice program, all public schools will be fully funded for every student. This issue is so vital to the future of our state. I am making education freedom an emergency item this session. Children must also have safe schools. We must establish the safest standards and then use the newly created Chief of School Safety to mandate compliance with those standards. And we also need to provide more healthcare professionals in our schools. We cannot let another school year go by without making our schools safer. That's why I am making school safety an emergency item this session. In addition to protecting our children in schools, we must also help our seniors in nursing homes by providing a pay increase for those who care for them. You know, one of the most dangerous places is one you would least expect. It's a courtroom with an activist judge, using low bail to let dangerous criminals back out onto the streets. Last September, a law enforcement officer in Harris County was murdered by a criminal out on bail from a prior murder charge. Harris County's revolving bail practice is literally killing people. In just 2 years, more than 100 people were murdered in Houston by criminals who were let out on multiple felony bonds. Now, we did a lot last session with Senator Huffman and Representatives Murr and Smith to impose tougher bail. But this session, we must shut and lock that revolving door by passing laws that keep dangerous criminals behind bars and holding accountable the judges who let them out. To get that done, I'm making ending revolving door bail an emergency item this session. Another public safety issue is gun crime. Some want more gun laws, but the fact is that too many local officials will not even enforce the gun laws that are already on the books. Most gun crimes are committed by criminals who possess guns illegally. We need to leave prosecutors and judges with no choice but to punish those criminals and remove them and their guns from our streets. I want a mandatory minimum sentence for criminals who illegally possess guns of 10 years behind bars. Guns, drugs, cartel gangs, all kinds of illegal activity are assailing our border, all while Washington has abandoned its duty. Texans are furious about the lawlessness caused by Biden's open border policies, and they should be. During the prior administration, we had the lowest illegal crossings in decades. But this past year, the United States set an all-time record high for the most illegal crossings ever. Working with Lieutenant Governor Patrick and Speaker Phelan, Texas has done more than any state ever to secure our border. We deployed the National Guard to turn back illegal immigrants. The Texas Department of Public Safety has arrested more than 24,000 criminals, and they have seized enough fentanyl to kill every man, woman, and child in the entire United States of America. I also designated Mexican drug cartels as terrorist organizations. And to relieve border communities from overcrowded conditions, I bused migrants to sanctuary cities in other states. And Texas is the only state in the history of America to build our own border wall. To coordinate these efforts, I hired a former Border Patrol leader, Mike Banks, who is the first Texas border czar. Thank you, Mike Banks. Texans should be so proud of their National Guard soldiers and DPS troopers who are working around the clock under the leadership of Major General Seltzer and Colonel Steve McCraw with DPS. Thank you all for your service. And importantly, let's also thank our Texas sheriffs who are on the front line battling Biden's border crisis. Thank you, sheriffs. Members of the National Border Patrol Council, including their president, Brandon Judd, they work with us every day, and they join with us here tonight. Brandon, thank you for being here. But we know that more must be done. That's why the Texas House and Senate are proposing another $4.6 billion to strengthen our border security efforts. But know this, illegal smuggling is being aided and abetted by United States residents. That must stop. We must impose a mandatory minimum jail sentence of at least 10 years for anyone caught smuggling illegal immigrants in the United States or here in Texas. Doing more to secure the border is an emergency item this session. I look forward to working with Senator Birdwell and Representative Guillen to get that done. Our porous border has a tragic side effect. Fentanyl poisoning has now become the leading cause of death of Americans between 18 and 45. This travesty must end. I met with Texas families who have been ripped apart by fentanyl. And with us here tonight is Veronica Caprisi from San Antonio. Last year, she told me about her daughter, Danica, a bright young woman lost in her prime because she took a pill not knowing it was laced with fentanyl. The story of Danica and too many others inspired us to start the One Pill Kills awareness campaign. Mexican drug cartels make fentanyl look like legitimate medicine, even candy. But that one pill can kill. To end cartel killings of Texans, we must do two things. Call fentanyl deaths what they are, poisonings, and prosecute them as murders. We must also increase the supply of life-saving Narcan so that we can save more Texans who are ambushed by fentanyl. Addressing the fentanyl crisis is an emergency item this session. Now, there's no doubt we have a lot of work ahead of us, but we are building on a storied legacy. 187 years after Texas was founded, there has never been a better time to be a Texan. Texas is America's economic juggernaut, where small family businesses can aspire to employ hundreds and become leaders in their local communities, where all Texans can chart their own destiny. Texas is the seat of knowledge, where children will have safer schools to master the skills that will prepare them for the workforce of tomorrow. Texas is the energy capital of the world, where we will strengthen the electric grid to power us for generations to come. Texas is the home of justice, where dangerous criminals will stay locked behind bars and law-abiding Texans will have their liberties protected. This session, we will ensure that Texas remains the leader of this nation and unflinching force in this world. Together, we will build a Texas for the next generation, the Texas of tomorrow. The First Lady, Cecilia Abbott, joins me in saying thank you to our fellow Texans. We pray to God for you and your families, and we pray that God will forever bless the great state of Texas. Thank you all. God bless you all.
Thank you, Governor. Texas Democrats have their own vision for the future, and they're sharing that vision through the experiences of friends, neighbors, and party leaders. Here's the Democratic response to tonight's State of the State address.
On May 24th of last year, I lost my child, Uzziah, when an 18-year-old gunman armed with an AR-15 walked into Robb Elementary and began to shoot at children.
Just days before they were supposed to be let out for summer, my baby, Lexi, and 20 other children and teachers were killed that day.
Since that day, we've been begging Governor Abbott to do what's right and institute the most common sense of gun safety laws.
Like raising the age from 18 to 21 to be able to buy a weapon of war in Texas, but he didn't listen.
Now as we start another legislative session, we're once again begging Governor Abbott, please, listen to these voices. It's too late for these families. But maybe, if you show some political courage, you can save the next family from having to endure this kind of heartache.
There are other life or death issues that the governor ignored for the past 2 years, too. In 2021, when a winter storm came through Texas, it caused our electric grid to suffer multiple shutdowns and widespread failures. Despite taking all the recommended precautions, my home sustained over $100,000 worth of damage as a direct result of the grid failure. But I was one of the lucky ones. Millions of Texans across the state lost heat and power, some for weeks on end. And 700 of my fellow Texans died during that storm. Hundreds of human beings dying because they didn't have access to electricity in their homes during sub-freezing weather. That's unacceptable.
Here in the coming weeks, the Texas legislature will begin voting on bills and figuring out how to manage a historic surplus, $33 billion in our checking account and around $27 billion in our savings account. There are 59 billion reasons why Texas Democrats will be fighting to make sure that our Texas values are reflected in this budget.
I was a public school teacher here at Lubbock ISD for 14 years. I left when I realized I could no longer deal with Republicans putting a gag order on everything teachers are trying to teach. And And for what it's worth, their idea of school vouchers would absolutely destroy rural public school districts and rural communities here in the Panhandle and across Texas.
It would crush us here in Houston too, right? What this so-called school choice is really about is defunding public education and sending our tax dollars to wealthy, privately owned schools.
This is going to be particularly painful for urban school districts like ours, where funding has already been slashed over decades of intentional cuts.
Texas teachers are already some of the lowest paid teachers in the country. It's no wonder so many of my former coworkers are leaving the profession entirely. It's no wonder our state has an unprecedented teacher shortage. That's why I filed a bill to give every public school teacher in Texas a $15,000 pay raise. In Texas, we go big or we go home. Let's go big for our teachers and our kids.
And during this legislative session, Democrats aren't just fighting for your kids to be able to get a good quality education. We're focused on other kitchen table issues too.
My 22-year-old son was born severely disabled, legally blind, and has a lifelong cancer syndrome. There was no possible way we could afford the health care he needed. His number finally came up a few years ago after 11 years on the Medicaid waiver wait list and dozens of surgeries. The wait list for pediatric disabled Texans to get a Medicaid waiver is now up to 26 years. Simply because Governor Abbott and Texas Republicans refused to do the right thing and finally expand Medicaid. Governor Abbott, many of these kids won't get services until they're 30 years old. Many will die before they get to that point. Do what's right. Make health care in Texas accessible to all Texans.
I'm Hassani Burton, a small business owner here in Dallas, Texas. It's encouraging to know I have Democrats in Austin fighting for job creators and community builders instead of just looking out for big corporations. Texas Democratic policies build communities. Texas Democratic policies support small business.
My daddy was an oil driller and then a union refinery trucker. I've lived in the oil fields my entire life, and the community is built on oil. Texas Democrats know that the oil we drill in the Permian Basin is one of the most precious commodities our state has, and they're working to protect our livelihoods while making sure that we're keeping up with where the industry is going.
As a dad, a husband, and a Texas Democrat, I care deeply about keeping my family and my community safe. As sheriff, I work hard each and every day to fight crime and make Texas a safe place that all families can call home. Texas Democrats have one priority. Above all else, make our state a place where all can prosper, lead a better life, and safely raise a family.
And we're also working every day here in Washington for sensible, bipartisan solutions to secure our border and honor our legacy as a nation of laws built by immigrants.
And working with the White House to deploy historic resources and support to our border communities by reimbursing local governments and NGOs for migrant care and investing in our ports of entry through the bipartisan infrastructure law.
It's not just a secure border and fair immigration we're fighting for. Over the past 2 years, Texas House Democrats, working with the Biden-Harris administration, have also brought down costs for hardworking Texas families.
We rescued the economy and changed the course of the COVID-19 pandemic that killed almost 100,000 Texans. We enacted the first meaningful federal gun violence reduction legislation in decades and passed the most ambitious legislation to combat climate change in our nation's history.
We've made historic, once-in-a-generation bipartisan investments in Texas infrastructure, increasing access to affordable broadband, and we passed legislation to finally give Texas veterans exposed to toxins and burn pits the health care they obviously deserve.
And we've made great progress toward making health care affordable. Texas leads the nation in residents without health insurance. But Governor Abbott won't support the expansion of Medicaid coverage. That's why we worked with the White House to expand the Affordable Care Act to lower health care premiums for 13 million people.
We proudly worked with President Biden to lower prescription drug costs, make vaccines free, and cap the monthly cost of insulin at $35 for senior citizens and disabled Texans on Medicare.
We brought our country's unemployment rate to the lowest it's been in 50 years.
and help create hundreds of thousands of good-paying American jobs, including right here in Texas.
And now, with Republicans in control of the House, we're going to fight every day to make sure that their political stunts and bad faith governance don't get in the way of the real work being done to make life better for all Texans.
Because we know there's so much we urgently need to do for everyone who calls our great state home. And we're ready to go toe-to-toe with right-wing extremists.
We know, though, that none of this matters unless we have our fundamental freedoms.
When Governor Abbott instituted his extreme abortion ban last year, we had to pack up and move to New Mexico. Now our clinic in Albuquerque is one of the closest places a woman in Texas can go to if she needs critical, potentially life-saving reproductive health care.
Because Greg Abbott has decided he knows better than you what the best choices are for your family and your health.
Greg Abbott wasted your tax dollars by directing the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services to interrogate my son and daughter, my husband, and me right here in our home. His reason? My teenage son, whom I love more than all the stars in the sky, is transgender. That's not a crime, nor should it be. Governor Abbott, you're ignoring the real issues affecting Texans. Like, will my kids be safe at school? Or will I be able to keep the lights and heat on during the next winter storm? But instead, you're focused on unfounded and delusional culture wars because you care more about your title than you do about Texans, like my son and family. You are getting in the way of my parental rights, and you're threatening my kid's life. Get out of the way of my job as a mother and do your job fixing the real issues affecting all of us.
There are challenges ahead of us this legislative session. We're not going to lie to you and say the fight will be easy.
But we can promise you, Democrats are going to fight because you, the people of Texas, deserve the opportunity to succeed, no matter your race, life background, or where in this great state you call home.
And thank you to everyone who participated in the Democratic response. So what can Texas expect moving forward? What kind of verbal sparring will we hear in the months to come in the building behind me? To better understand what we just heard, we put together a group of lawmakers and journalists to react to tonight's speech. Let's go back live to San Marcos and join moderators Brian Mudd and Sally Hernandez.
Thank you, Daniel. I'm Sally Hernandez, anchor at KXAN in Austin.
And I'm Brian Mudd, anchor at KMAC TV in Lubbock. And with us tonight are four outstanding Texas lawmakers to share some insights and things we've seen and heard tonight. And they represent both sides of the aisle and both chambers of the legislature.
That's right. To my left, we have the Senate representatives here. We have Senator Donna Campbell, a Republican from New Braunfels, an emergency room physician as well. And Senator Royce West, sitting next to me as well, is a Democrat representing Dallas, serving in the Texas Senate for 30 years.
On the House side, Dustin Burrows is a state representative from Lubbock. He's a Republican who led the Special Investigative Committee formed after the Uvalde school shootings. And Representative Aaron Gomez is one of the newest members of the Texas legislature, just elected last year, a Democrat from Brownsville. Welcome to everybody.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. We do want to hear from each of you about the governor's priorities that he laid out tonight in the state of the state. We'll get to that in a bit, but we just want to start this evening with what you saw and what you heard in the Democrat response in that video. It ended with a powerful message and powerful words from a mother about her transgender son.
It certainly did. And Senator Campbell, I know you introduced a bill that would limit some of the gender changes options for children in our state. Last time, in last session, caused some divisions within the legislature. Why introduce that again?
You know, as a doctor, first, it's do no harm. When we hear about the use of transgender drugs, first of all, it's being used off-label, which means those drugs are not even being used for what they were tested and approved for. Number two, we don't know the long-term effects of those drugs. So children are using these drugs long-term, not knowing the end result. But what we do know is we've heard story after story of children, once they're over 18, that wish they didn't take them. That sends a strong message. The bill that I have also talks about stops transgender surgery. I feel that's mutilation. A child, before that kind of a decision is made, needs to be at least 18. A child, even at 18, maturation of the brain takes even longer than that. But for a child to say they made an informed decision under the age of 18 to be mutilated, to be sterilized, a procedure that cannot be reversed, is wrong. So I brought the bill because I think that you should bring mental health support. You should not come to the children with a drug and a blade.
Senator West. I want to give you a chance to respond to this topic that is important to your party. Democrats, how are you going to fight the fight, but without derailing other priorities that you have in line?
You know, anyone that knows me will tell you that I try to bring consensus to issues. Sure, there's some divisive issues that we all have based on party affiliation, but we have more in common than that separates us. And making certain that Democrats have input into the decision-making process will make Texas even a greater state. When we start talking about taxes, when we start talking about border issues, when we start talking about bail issues, education issues, we have more in common than that separates us. So to the extent that rural Texans and urban Texans can continue to come together and form, along with suburban Texans, and form coalitions based on interests as opposed to party affiliation, then I think the Democrats will have input into the decision-making process. Will there be issues that Republicans will go along without Democrats? Yes, there will be. And as a result of Republicans winning the elections, they have a right to do that. And as a Democrat, we lost. If we want to have issues that are important to us addressed, then we have to start winning statewide elections.
Let me remind our audience and our viewers some of the important issues that the governor laid out tonight when it comes to his emergency items. You'll see them on your screen. 7 of them. Cutting property taxes, ending COVID restrictions, school choice, school safety, border security, and addressing the fentanyl crisis. Representative Gomez, this is your first time hearing the state of the state. Congratulations on your win as a new lawmaker. What stood out to you from the governor when he was listing out those emergency items?
Thank you so much, Sally. You're absolutely correct. This is my first time, and I'm so blessed to be here. It's an honor to share the stage with such incredible and esteemed colleagues. And I want to second what Senator Roy said. We have absolutely much more in common than we do that divides us. And I'm pleased and happy to hear our governor's triumphant and victorious tone with which he intends to proceed forward in the legislature. There's going to be some issues that we disagree on, but as I discuss with leadership on the Democratic side and leadership on the Republican side, 90% of what we do in that beautiful historic building doesn't make the headlines. 90% of the hard work and the late nights that we spend working and getting along with the other side won't make the news. Unfortunately, some of the more salacious and divisive topics will. I want to remind everyone that we have 140 days in 2 years to accomplish the things that matter most to Texans, and that's why we're here. I think Texans want to hear a little bit more about why their electric bill is so high and why they can't afford eggs. I think teachers, over 90,000 in the state of Texas, want to know, when are we going to get that $15,000 pay raise? I know my grandparents want to know, when are we going to get that cost of living adjustment to our TRS? And I know that both sides are here to work on exactly those issues.
Well, let's talk about school safety, which is one of the issues brought up by the governor and by Democrats in their response tonight, especially with the Uvalde families who've been calling for meaningful gun reform. Representative Burrows, of course, you helped lead the Uvalde Investigative Committee. We saw Senator Gutierrez, who has filed bills with the support of Uvalde families on age requirements for gun ownership and ammunition and things of that nature. But those types of bills have failed in the past. In light of what has happened here, could they get a different look, in your opinion, this session?
Well, they're failed because they're unconstitutional. And the things we need to be looking at are actual solutions we can come together on. School hardening, school safety, looking at actual things that will make a huge difference is what I look forward to working with my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to come up with practical, good, constitutional solutions to get these things done. You know, I was in Uvalde for 44 days. We talked to over 70 different people. On paper, all of the systems looked like they were in place and should have worked. But that was just a piece of paper that nobody had studied and trained and really felt like they may ever actually happen. We need to have actual enforcement mechanisms. We need to look at these things and make sure people are taking this threat as serious as possible. And I think we're going to come together and do this, and excited to get to work and excited to see the governor make this an emergency item.
You believe it's unconstitutional as well and I'm trying to think of one of the bills, to have a database of people if they buy over so much ammunition.
Well, the one I think you referred to is raising the age from 18 to 21. Yeah. And yes, I do believe that's unconstitutional. I think it's a 140-day session. All things are open for debate. But, you know, school safety, mental health, law enforcement reform, things that we saw failures in Uvalde, we need to address, and I appreciate the governor making this emergency items, and I'm ready to get to work on them.
Senator West, you heard the answer over here, and he also mentioned school hardening. Can you get behind that, and is there anything else that you want to see come out of this legislative session that would ensure even more school safety?
I had the honor of being appointed to a commission that Lieutenant Governor Patrick put together dealing with school safety. And we came up with a list of recommendations, many of which are common sense and will have bipartisan support. We talk about transparency. The fact is that I strongly believe that we should have a school safety accountability system. We have it for finance, we have it for achievement. We should also have something as it relates to school safety accountability, so parents will know whether or not their local school district is in fact doing the things necessary in order to keep our children safe. Now, let me just say this. I recognize that we shouldn't make that all public because we turn around and make it a soft target. We should give schools, once an audit is conducted, an opportunity to cure any defects. And then if they don't do it on an intentional basis, then we need to make certain that parents know that there are issues associated with the safety of our school. So I look forward to working with members of the Senate and also the House in dealing with these issues.
I want to stick with schools, Senator Campbell, and you're able to tell me a little bit more about the education savings account, which we heard the governor talked about earlier tonight. And you were, from my understanding, behind something like this years before, an education savings account. Just explain to me, walk us through, what does that mean for Texas families? And then I have a follow-up.
Well, just primarily, it just boils down to 60% of the dollars that normally go to fund a child per pupil in school, 60% would go to actually following the child to a school of the parent's choice.
So
and we've made some changes in the details of the bill this time around, so I'll spare you the details.
Some of the legalese, maybe.
But the major details that were coming out of this education savings is that the governor is talking about how you're still going to be able to fully fund public schools with this. How do you keep the money going and funding public schools and then still address school choice?
Well, I think the governor is on time and on target because we can all agree there's school choice out there. If you're rich enough and you're mobile enough, your child gets school choice. But what about the less fortunate child? What choice do they have? It is time for education the choice to be made by the parent, not assigned by a government, not a government assigned by a zip code. A child, first of all, with school choice included in our education system, there will not be mass exodus of children from the schools. The amount of funding will be affected like a child that's transferring out of the district or out of the state. As Governor Abbott well put, we've got maximum, we're at the high, right now, we're funding per pupil at its highest level ever. This is a choice, and if the dollars, perhaps they're not all of the dollars, my plan is not for all of the dollars to go 100%, but a portion, say 60%. That leaves 40% of the dollars that normally be in that school left with that school without a child, to then support the position the child had, like teachers or whatever.
Senator West, let's bring you into the conversation on this on the Education Committee. Look, any loss of attendance numbers means a loss of funding for public school. Is there a funding idea that you believe that could allow for school choice and still guarantee a small rural school be able to have the money to hire a new teacher if they need to?
Let me be real clear about this. Again, 30 years of experience. Having served on the Education Committee the many years that I have, been in the Senate, first appointed by Bob Bullock. But some of you know who Bob Bullock was. It's real clear that the public school system is the default system of education in this country. And we've got to make certain that we guard that as fiduciaries of the future. We also understand that there are instances where we have schools, public schools, that have not performed. And my position on that is real clear. To the extent that we have schools that have not performed over an extended period of time, then we need to do something about that. And what we decided to do when the issue first came up on vouchers,
yes, sir,
as opposed to charter schools, we decided to do charter schools. And then allow, supposedly, for those to be laboratories for best practices for public schools. And now charter schools are public schools. I think that using charter schools right now and making certain that they are allowing parents to have choice, public choice, is what we need to be doing.
Let's get the temperature of the House on this issue. Representative Burrows, look, would members listen to maybe an enrollment-based funding formula which might offer some assurances to smaller districts, rural districts?
I can't speak for any other member of the House but for myself, Brian, but this is what I'll tell you. I've had parents from my district and around the state come to me concerned with some of the curriculum that they're learning about. I think, you know, with the virtual online, they've heard about more things, they're finding things. They have concerns, and quite honestly, as you look into it, there's things to be concerned about. The first thing we do need to do is have those reforms to make sure stuff that we're finding about, an agenda that perhaps was not meant to be there, is shut down. And then I think that we need to approach the governor's ideas with an open mindset. You know, I want to hear the debate from both sides, not just from those advancing it, but also from the schools, and take a hard look at it. And I think that's the best thing that we can do, is come at it with an open mind and make a good, informed decision by the end of session of what this really means.
On the calendars committee, you'd be willing to have a look at that and maybe get some of those out to a vote here during this, really as soon as possible, because it's a governor's order here.
When we talk about stopping this curriculum, stopping some of the books in the libraries and things of that nature that we have found that honestly never should have been there in the first place, that I could not have in my workplace and not be accused of sexual harassment or things of that nature, we need to continue to make sure we get rid of that, and those bills will make it very soon. On the choice front, I am open to that debate, and I hope many of my colleagues are open, and we'll see what comes from it.
Representative Gamez, you know, Brownsville ISD in your district has been pushing against school choice a little bit here. What are your constituents, what are folks in their school system there, what are they saying about this?
And Brian, I know it's not just in small cities like Brownsville, but I know it's in cities across the state of Texas where we find ourselves in the position that the ISD is the largest employer in our district. That's not an unfamiliar scenario. So, and I want to go back, Sally, real quick and answer your question, which was, how will in unrolling a voucher program at this stage in time not siphon money away from public education and traditional public schools? And the answer is, I haven't heard that it won't. So from what we've seen on the floor right now and what we know and what our constituency is saying overwhelmingly is, Representative Gomez, please don't allow this to happen when we're already underfunded. No one, let me make this clear, no one is against parental choice. No one is ever going to stop a family from sending their child to whichever school they'd like to attend. But in communities like ours across the state of Texas, where the ISD is the heart of the community, it would be devastating. When we're talking about economic development and infrastructure, we have to start talking about public education like it is infrastructure for the future.
We're a little tight on time, and I want to make sure we get to talk a little bit about the border situation. Representative Burrows, lawmakers have approved hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars for border security. Despite that, the governor has spoken about the fact that we saw record numbers of illegal crossings in the last year. A lot of arrests, but a lot of taxpayer money involved in that as well. Is the measure of that measure of success worth the billions that are being spent?
Absolutely. You're seeing the crisis down there. We're seeing pictures and images from all the time. And I'll tell you what I was excited about tonight. Making fentanyl manufacturers, actually holding them liable, calling it what it is, murder. When the governor spoke about that, I thought these are real solutions, things that we can get behind on. I'm a father of 3 boys. The idea of fentanyl and the one pill kills and what actually can happen, it frightens me and I think terrifies all of us. And so I'm anxious to get to work with all of my colleagues to try to stop this and look for new tools to shut it down.
I want to talk to you as a physician, an emergency room physician. Is that legislative meaningful in ending the fentanyl crisis?
The legislation is meaningful. Let that be perfectly clear.
I got 30 seconds.
As long as the border's open, we're going to have more fentanyl. Yes, it is good because it is a poisoning, so rather than just an overdose, a poisoning, so that the crime has a more stringent.
Thank you.
But let me tell you this.
You got it.
Also, Narcan is out there.
Okay.
But for those who are going to use it, it's not one pill, one dose of Narcan.
It's more than one. Okay. Thank you.
No, it's not 1-to-1. You've got to have multiple.
You have to multiple doses of Narcan. Thank you.
We thank all of you for watching. We'll
have a good night.
Back from San Marcos to our man Daniel Marine.
Thank you, Brian and Sally. We would like to take a moment to thank our more than a dozen sponsors for making tonight's broadcast possible across Texas. And we want to thank you for joining us for this important moment in Texas state politics. Have a good night.